Hello and welcome to Petro Media. I'm your host, Terrence Anderson, and today, what are we talking about? I recently got way more serious with my music production stuff, and I decided that if I'm going to take it seriously, it would be good for me not only to have a production suite scenario at the house, but also something that I can take with me on the road. And you'd be surprised at the choice I made, because you would think I would want something that's battery operated. However, there are reasons behind why I chose what I chose. What I chose was this. This is the MPC 1000. It came out a little bit after the 2000 XL. It was the first of the next iteration of the MPC sequencers, and it is still not a DAW. It's not a DAW. I hear a lot of people say that all the time, and unfortunately, these are more so akin to groove boxes than DAWs. It can do many of the features of a DAW, and in all honesty, the new MPCs and newer MPCs are more in line with being kind of like a pseudo DAW, but these older machines are not DAWs. I chose this machine because I wanted to have something that was compatible with the 5000 that's going to stay at the house. The 1000 can travel with me pretty much anywhere. I can use it, at the office when I have a break. I have a couple of breaks during the day. I have a little bit of time. There's no reason I can't knock out a couple of things while I'm sitting there. And in all honesty, it works. The biggest benefit to the two is that they are very much compatible with one another. I can use pretty much all of the features here on the 5000. There's a little bit of debate because people are saying, why'd you do this? Why didn't you just go ahead, stick with the 5000 and then, maybe buy an MPC X? I didn't buy the X or the One or any of those because I actually have an MPC Studio, which is the most portable version of the MPC software. I mean, essentially you can use there is a standalone version of the MPC that alive that you can actually use as battery operated. But here's my issue. The software that you use on the laptop as well as the MPC are exactly the same. There's no difference in those two things. That's not a negative. The negative for me personally is the software is too in-depth. There's a lot going on in there. In all honesty, it's like learning another DAW, and I'm already very proficient in Logic. I've had Logic Pro since Logic was on PC when it was eMagic Logic, before Apple bought Logic and then took it off the Windows platform. So I'm very proficient with Logic. I also know Pro Tools pretty well. I didn't want to learn another DAW. I tried to do that with Ableton, and it was a nightmare. Not because Ableton is bad, because again, Ableton is amazing, but you have to live there. And I didn't want to live there. I always want to live in Logic. I know the software in and out. There's no point to me learning anything new. It's kind of like with the Studio One thing. I want to learn Studio One, but in the back of my head, I'm like, why? Studio One has all the same features as Logic. Almost all of the major DAW softwares have all the same features. Some might have things that you don't have in others, but overall, they're basically the same thing. So as long as you understand it, more power to you. I can't be mad at your decision to do that, and I'm not going to sit here and try to jump around hoops. That makes no sense. The best way to become proficient at anything in life is to learn the one thing and learn it really, really, really well. And that is the only thing that's true. Everything else everyone else tells you is total utter bullshit. So as long as you understand that, you will be completely fine. So pros and cons of the 1000. The 1000 has only 2 Q-Link sliders, and to be honest with you, I never really used them too much, but I might start using them more because of the benefits that you can have with it. There's actually a trick where with some of the settings in the OS that's on here, which we'll get into in a second, you can actually slide the fader like a scratcher. Not sure if I'm going to really use that, but it's just kind of cool that that's an option. This one came with JJOS 3.16. I am not proficient with JJOS just because I've had this with the regular OS and I had no problems with the OS. But this one came with JJOS, and I'm going to have to take some time and learn how that works, but that shouldn't take too much time because it's not that much different. It's just they added more features. The 5000 doesn't have JJOS, so that's the only conflict I might have. Because the other reason I picked this unit was because it is completely compatible with the 5000. I should be able to create a full session here of whatever I'm doing and then save it and then open up with the compact flash card in the 5000 and open it there and check it out there and then dump it into the computer. So like I said, this is my portable unit. It fits in my backpack and it's perfect. And even if I had to use it in a pinch, because I have a mixing console at home, I can actually work with this. Key features. The thing I love about the 1000 is the fact that the 1000 behaves a lot like the 2000 XL. The 2500 also does, but I just didn't want to spend the extra money when I already have something that has all the outputs. I didn't need all the outputs on this one as well. The 1000, the only downside the 1000 has to the 2000 XL is the 2000 XL has a 237,000 MIDI note sequencing ceiling, whereas the 1000, the 2500, and the 5000 only have a 100,000 note sequencing limit. Now, does that really matter? No, I have never hit that ceiling. I don't think any of us have really hit that ceiling. You have to be like a concert pianist or somebody on that level to really hit that ceiling. So I'm not really worried about that limitation. And it doesn't cause any issue for me. This one comes with a lot of built-in effects, which I can't show you right now because it's not plugged in, but that is perfect. I still have the same 4 banks at 16 levels and full level. The data wheel is debatable because it does have these notches in the turn, but I do still like it and it's comfortable. I love that the knobs are flat so I don't have to worry about them breaking off. If I decided to use this to connect, I have a lot of options. I still can connect via the Mac, via the USB port. I have record ins, stereo out, and 4 mix outs. What you can do actually, and this is with any MPC, you can assign these 4 to things and then assign these 2 separately. And how you do that is you select 2 things to go here and then pan one left and pan one right, and then you have mono left, mono right. So that gives you 6 outs. On the MPC 5000, I have 8 outs. I can do the same thing. I'll have the other 2 as extra, so I technically have 10 outs. I have digital in and out. I have never really used this, but I can try it out and see what it's like. And then, of course, I have the MIDI banks for controlling 2 devices and 2 to plug in. On the 1000, I rarely see myself using this, mainly because the point of the 1000 is for me to come up with drum grooves. I have a huge sample library of sounds that I've created or recorded in one way or another that I'm going to take advantage of using in this thing to build general ideas that I can flush out when I actually get to the house to work on. And speaking on the whole sample library thing, I have finally built my website. I've been taking forever. I know. I've been dragging my feet on the whole thing because I started the company. I had other things I was taking care of. I was heavy into the FPV thing for a little while. I'm still flying, still filming. I still do jobs here and there, but for the most part, I'm not really doing that as much as I used to because this is my primary focus anyway. And I'm going to be selling a lot of the libraries that are royalty-free and not samples that I've sampled from someone else. I actually created a website, petromediainc.com. Link is in the description, and you guys can check it out. I have a couple of kits up there, and every couple of weeks I'm going to upload new ones. What I'm working on right now is just making sure I have the right pack of sounds for everybody. There's also a couple of them that are just like Petro Media packs. And what that means is these are kits that I personally put together that I would use normally. I also have a lot of, drum machine samples because when I had my MPC 2000 XL and I was working in the studios, like I was at Sony's studio for the long time, they have a giant Neve and an SSL, and we recorded like everything to audio file. I mean everything. Every single drum machine you could think of from back then, we recorded it. We got all the sounds so that we could use it in the MPC because it was just like, why are we going to go pull this machine out when we could just throw it in the MPC and work with it? And I have all of that, and I'm willing to part with all of that, no problems, as well as some specialized things that I've created. And I got a couple of instruments in there too, so I have a lot. It's worth taking a look. But I'll give you guys some more details soon on what's going on. I'm going to try to be uploading videos more regularly. I've just been so busy. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on the next video.